an introduction to rustic Tuscan gardens.
Hello and welcome to Video Jug. My name's Tom Cole, Head of Horticulture at Cape Manor College, and you join me in this rustic garden, a Tuscan influenced garden with highly scented plants, some bold junipers and some wonderful loggias with creeping vines over. In a Tuscan influenced garden such as this one, there are some key hard landscape features that really you have to have, such as the paving, which is terracotta. You get some great hues from that, set out and joined by sets and block paving, and that leads you very nicely actually up towards the back of the house where we've got this loggia. And a loggia, basically, for those who aren't quite in the know, is an awning that comes out from the side of your house, and in Roman times you would actually sit in a square surrounded by a loggia. This is an excellent piece of kit that you can use for climbing plants such as this wonderful ornamental grape. And from wonderful climbing plants that can use something like a loggia, you also have dotted around some great terracotta pots, great for your specimen plants such as the cypress, and also some lovely grey-blue foliage plants as well. They just give another aspect to the garden.
The secret to a traditional Tuscan garden success lies with the gardener. They must be able to hold on to the garden's historic and rustic elements, whilst marrying this with the freshness that the plethora of thriving plants can provide.
The vital ingredient of any Tuscan garden has got to be the olive plant. The olive here, in this case, a great specimen plant in bloom and potentially could give us some fruit later on the year, is extremely hardy in this country. A lot of people worry about it getting through the winter period, but in fact it's as hardy as anything else you could put into the garden. Loves a good south-facing site. If it is going to be a little cold in the winter, you can always wrap it up with what we call fleece or material just to keep the frost at bay. It's an evergreen and really gets you thinking about the Mediterranean.
There is huge scope for edible plants in a Tuscan garden. It is considered as a kitchen garden, so fill it with the scents of Italy, not just with olive trees, but with pots full of oregano, sweet basil, and even fruit trees such as lemons.
For that complete Tuscan feel, another plant that will be really good, not only because it gives a great accent and height in the garden, but because it's evergreen and fragrant, is the cypress. Tall, pencil thinness, and already being taken over by another favourite plant of that type of gardening, the Mediterranean sort of feel, is an edible vine. And although it's using this as support, better still to have something like this pergola to give support and rigidity to the plant. And who knows, you could be making wine in a few years' time.
Tuscan gardens often revolve around a central axis, such as a wall-mounted or freestanding fountain. This is a hugely traditional feature of Italian garden design, and one that can create a whole new dimension to the area, introducing sound and movement to the already abundant scent and colour.
With a garden such as this, you might worry about the fact that a lot of these plants need south-facing aspects, or at least very good levels of sunshine to encourage flowering or even fruit. But you'd be wrong. In fact, a lot of these plants cope really well in a west-facing and actually to a certain degree even a north-facing border. So if you're limited, what you'll need to do is just look around at key plants, particularly foliage-based ones, and you'll find they cope with a little bit less sunshine. If it's flowering, unfortunately they do need more sun. And if anything, just avoid an east-facing site because that is the most extreme site. Harsh winds, strong winds. The best site would be something that's more protected, I would say, at the end of the day. In a garden that has this sort of Mediterranean type feel, a number of the plants are very fragrant and sweetly scented, such as lavender. This lavender here with a wonderful grey-blue foliage and tightly held blue mauve flowers not only smells nice but also attracts bees and other pollinators. But if that's not your thing, then this lovely rosa, this fabulous rose, multi-flowering rosa veilchenblau, I can smell it. It's really heady, very, very strong. This is overpowering. This is a great plant to have in any garden.
The secret to a traditional Tuscan garden success lies with the gardener.